Now let's start talking about iteration, which is also known as repetition or just looping informally. So I'm going to create a new PHP file called iteration, and we'll start with a while loop. So the while loop is the simplest form of a loop, and it looks like this. While some condition, and then some set of statements. So basically, while this condition is true, the loop is going to repeat over and over and over again, and each time through the loop the statements will get executed. As soon as the condition is false, or if it starts out false to begin with, the loop will jump down to this closing curly bracket and then proceed with the rest of the code. So simplest possible example, I'm just going to output the numbers from 1 to 10. So I'm going to create a variable called I, and I'm going to set it to 1. And then my loop is going to be while $i less than or equal to 10. I'm going to echo $i and then a break after that. And then I'm also going to increment the value of I. So that's the same as I plus equal 1 or I equal I plus 1. So let's go ahead and load this. So this is iteration.php. And I get the numbers from 1 to 10. Now I could also get the numbers from 10 to 1 like so. So while I greater than 0, and then I'm going to decrement the value of I each time through the loop. And we'll add a little blast off statement at the end. And so here's my countdown. Now, loops are really useful when you're talking about iterating through data structures. So for example, let's go ahead and create an array called fruits. And I'll set the contents of fruits to banana, apple, cherry, strawberry, kiwi. And then I'm going to loop through this array one item at a time. And so the first item is item 0, then item 1, 2, 3, and 4. So set our loop variable I equal to 0. And then while I is less than the number of items in fruits, I'm going to echo the name of the fruit, which is fruits sub $i. And we want to increment here. I'll get rid of the blast off line. So there's my 5 fruits. Now if I want to do something fancy with the formatting, I don't have to just output the name of the fruit followed by a break. I can, for example, start an unordered list, and then for each fruit in the array, I can create a list item and end the list item. And then after I've output the whole list, I can close off my unordered list. So same results, but now the output is inside of an unordered list. So if you're going to do this, though, you probably want your page source to be readable, just so that somebody who's looking at the page will know what's going on. And this isn't particularly readable, especially when it starts to get long. So what you really want to do here is add some new line characters. So I'm going to put a new line here. I need double quotes for a new line with a \n. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with this one. I'm going to use double quotes for this one, \n. And then I'm also going to put some spaces here so that the list items are indented. Put one more \n in here. And now if I run the loop, the output is properly formatted.